The main message is there's only one message really. It's Zachor, remember. It's every year we have this ceremony here so that all the young people and the people who have missed out on the history can see it for themselves, can see, and actually the European Jewish Congress makes an incredible event every year because every time is almost fresh and new and relevant. And the message is Zachor, remember, and never again.
And is there any added significance in the fact that it's taking place at the European Parliament of all places?
It's incredibly relevant. This is not nowadays not by choice. It is by the Parliament here. The European Parliament it's a permanent fixture of its calendar to have every single year on this date to invite a few hundred people to come and see it. It's very relevant. It's a great achievement to have that as a permanent fixture, and we should all support it whenever we can.
Now, of course, the events of the Holocaust, which we're remembering today, did not occur in a vacuum. They were the culmination of extremist ideology that took root in Europe over a course of a number of years. Today, we're also seeing different kinds of extremists gaining a foothold in parts of Europe. What do you think the lessons of the past that we can take into the future and in dealing with threats of religious or political extremism in Europe today?
It's almost incredible that today, even within the living memory of the Holocaust, we have here in the European Parliament some parties, some extreme parties, that actually carries on with the Nazi doctrine. Yesterday in London we had a visit from the leader of the Jobbik party, the extreme Hungarian party, inciting in London itself, in the heart of it, within living memory of the Holocaust itself. So that's where really the importance of it. I've always said that one cannot foresee another similar Holocaust happening in Europe in the 21st century. Europe has changed immensely. However, you know what? The Holocaust doesn't have to be only physical liquidation of the Jewish people. Some places today in Europe, Jews cannot walk freely. They wear kippah. They cannot support Israel with freedom in campuses. And in a way, if this carries on unchecked, then in 20, 30, 40 years, we might have a different type of Holocaust. A Holocaust where not physical, but where a Jew cannot walk safely in the streets of Europe and support whoever he wants to and practice whatever he does.
And just on a positive note, what is the European Jewish Congress? You've been active in lobbying for Jewish rights in Europe for quite some time now. What kinds of things are you engaging in to combat that kind of phenomenon?
Well, tonight's event is one of them. The European Jewish Congress represents the interests of the Jews of Europe. That is the only raison d'être. It's the thing we do day in, day out, week in, week out. We will not rest or relax until we make sure that any threats to the Jewish interest in Europe is countered.